I hope the screen, video and everything is visible clearly. Okay. In the previous class, we discussed what is meant by risk as audit risk, what are the components of audit risk, what is included in the audit risk and excluded in the audit risk. And then we started discussing about what is the objective of risk assessment procedure and what it includes. We understood the objective of risk assessment is to the ultimate objective is to minimize the audit risk. Because we are having audit risk, we have to minimize it. The objective of conducting risk assessment procedure is to minimize. If I know where the risk is, I can mitigate it. If I don't know where the risk is, I cannot handle it. So to minimize the risk, in order to achieve overall objective of the audit, I need to do risk assessment. So what I do in the risk assessment, I will identify risk of MMS and I will divide that risk which I identified into two types. I will classify it into two types, either financial statement level risk or assertion level risk. If the risk is only in one particular item of balance sheet or one particular item of P&L, it is not a pervasive level risk, then it is called as assertion level risk. If it is a pervasive level risk, then it is better for me to withdraw from the audit or give disclaimer of opinion. And what is pervasive level risk and what is assertion level risk already I have covered in the third question. Then what is covered in risk assessment? Identify the risk of MMS and assess the risk to understand its significance. Determine its significance. Is it a significant risk or non-significant risk? Significance. How do you perform this? Through understanding the entity and the environment, including study of internal control system. Remember, everywhere at every assertion, what you have to do, what can go wrong, this analysis, what can go wrong analysis you have to do at every assertion level you have to do this. What can go wrong, you don't do generally at whole financial statement level, we only do it at assertion level. Further, risk is a matter of professional judgment. Rather, it cannot be precisely measured. It cannot be measured precisely. It's a professional judgment. What appears risky for me may not appear risky for you. So, this is what risk assessment meaning. What it includes, what I do in risk assessment, I'll inquire management, I'll inquire employees, I'll inquire internal audit, I'll inquire top management, I'll inquire with, I'll talk to so many people, I'll observe processes, factory, production, inventory, warehouse, I'll inspect goods, I'll inspect records, internal control later, and I also think logically, which is called as analytical procedure, for which I told you I'll give an explanation in analytical procedure chapter. So this is what we learned in the second question. Third question we learned risk of material misstatement exists at two levels. No, one is financial statement level and assertion level. We don't try to identify two levels differently. We just do risk assessment. If we come across a particular risk, when we are assessing it, we will assess it. Is it company whole risk or is it only at that particular place the risk is available? The risk is impacted. Only that analysis we do. So based on that, we will classify the risk identified into two parts. Financial statement level risk or assertion level risk. Two levels. Only two levels. This can also be tested in MCQ or true or false. Risk of material misstatement will be assessed only at financial statement level. False. It will be assessed at two levels as per SA 315. One is financial statement level and another one is assertion level. Then the fourth question that we need to understand. Understanding an organization entity is a continuous and dynamic process. Understanding an entity is a continuous and dynamic process. If you ask me, is this correct? I say it is not completely agreeable. Understanding an entity is a continuous and dynamic process. Suppose day 1 to day 3 you spent time for doing risk assessment. So you just went to Gordon, you just went to production, you just went everywhere. You understood, you discovered some risk. Now, whatever the risk that you are discovering in the first 3 days, the risk, is it exhaustive or are they only inclusive? Are they exhaustive risks that you have identified or are they inclusive? Which one? What is it? You have to tell me, all of you have to reply me. The risk which you have identified when you are carrying out risk assessment, whatever the risk you identified, yes, only those risks are there. I went to go down. I saw some risk I identified. Only those risks are there. Go down is not having any other risk. Is it exhaustive list or inclusive list? Obviously, inclusive. Inclusive means whatever you're identifying, it is only few items of total risks that are there. We don't know. We cannot identify certain inherent risk factors. So they are inclusive, not exhaustive. So which means, can you say like this, 3 days risk assessment over. I will tell my team, blindly go, take record and then verify. If at all you find a new risk, don't record it. Ignore that risk because I already completed risk assessment. You are going to do audit of substantial procedures, right? Do that only. If you come across any new risk, no, don't consider, ignore it. Can I say this? Can I say this to my staff? Can I say this to my staff? Or should I tell my staff, dear staff members, dear articles, dear paid assistants, be clear, risk is something which is a continuous process. Whatever the risk which I have identified may be only inclusive. When you are doing the audit, you may come across with new different types of risk. If that is there, please inform me immediately, record them, and accordingly change your plan, audit procedures. Is this correct? Option 1, ignore every other risk. Option 2, I try to identify new risk. Which one is correct? Option 1 or 2, which one is correct? Others also reply fast. Participate, reply in the chat box. Yes. So risk is a continuous process. It's a dynamic process. It's not one-time process. It's not static process. It's a dynamic process. So auditor has to understand this very important basic point. So obtaining an understanding of the entity and or environment, you understood about the organization in one way in first 3 days. After 10 days, you will get a different understanding. It is possible, right? So understanding of an entity and its environment is a continuous and dynamic process of gathering, updating, analyzing information throughout the audit. So risk assessment is a continuous process. How it will be useful for the auditor? What is the advantage of doing this risk assessment advantage? The understanding helps the auditor to plan and perform the audit and exercise professional judgment wherever necessary. Your professional judgment is influenced by risk factors. Whether risk of MMS is there or not, materiality you can decide based on the risk, and whether accounting policies are suitable or not, you can check. Whether anywhere special audit consideration, is there any area where special focus I should give, you can understand. And the sufficiency, appropriateness of audit evidence can change. Suppose if the risk is high, sufficiency and appropriateness level will increase. If the risk is low, they will decrease. So that's it. In this, this continuous process is there. This is important. True or false or MCQ may come from them. If you observe from the day 1 of the classes, at every question, wherever true or false or MCQ concept comes, I'm explaining you. There are so many MCQ books which are available in the market. Students will do 1500 MCQs, but then when it comes to exam, he can't even answer 5 MCQs properly. The reason in the market 1500 MCQs are useless MCQ. MCQs will not be asked with one word. I've already told about this. When I'm explaining audit opinion paragraph, I told you how MCQs will be asked. In such a depth manner, they will be asked. They will not be asking one word MCQs. Like they'll give entire sentence, one word, they'll keep blank. Below option A, B, C, D, one word will be there. No, that type of MCQs and all won't be there. Check MTPs and RTPs. MCQs are having very good standard. That's the reason I specifically don't give any sort of MCQ booklet for practice. MCQs are not for practice. If you properly read this and understand the content, the descriptive content, you can answer any sort of MCQ. I'm challenging, you can answer any sort of MCQ. So that's regarding, like understanding an entity is a continuous and dynamic process. That's it. Then after, see, question number 5. This is regarding. I'll read the question. I'll not explain. I'll play a video in the class itself. I'll play a video in the class itself. As part of risk assessment, the auditor shall determine whether any of the risk identified are a significant risk. I told in question number 2, auditor has to identify and assess to determine its significance. If you remember in the question number 2, I told you this, auditor has to assess its significance. Auditor will identify the risk and assess for determining its significance. Is it big risk or small risk? Is it a high level risk or low level risk? Is it a significant risk or insignificant risk? Auditor has to identify. Yes, an auditor has to determine. Now what is, explain what is significant risk? This question is asked for 4 marks or 5 marks in old scheme as well as new scheme. 2 times it was asked. What is meant by significant risk? So for this question, instead of explaining, I'll play a video. So be online right now. I'll unmute my video and audio, and the video will play right now. All of you, please stick into it. Once video is playing, please reply in the chat box whether are you able to listen to the audio and video properly or not. Just reply me once. All of you, I'm about to play the video. Just confirm me. I will stop my audio and video both because the video related audio will come out now. All of you just confirm in the chat box. Are you able to, is it okay or not? Okay, like is it comfortable for watching or not? Okay, I will even share this link to you later. It's okay, don't worry. But watch it in the class itself. Let us not break the class. I think I cannot share the video related audio. I think because no, it is mic. Now I'm using a mic. So I need to disable it completely and then enable that audio related function. So what I'll do is I'll share you the link, YouTube link. You watch right now. Don't leave the class. Minimize this application completely. Just open the YouTube link right now and then watch it. Please, it is very important. Please watch it. That video will be of 18 minutes. I'll just pause this class and then I will give you that video.